Hey there, thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Paula. So today's sequence is really about strengthening the side body. We'll do a little bit of work in other areas as well, but primarily about strengthening the side body. So if you have got some blankets or some towels or something like that, please have it nearby. We're going to do a little bit of work on our forearm, on our lying on our side, and it can just be a little bit more comfortable to have some cushioning. If you're lying on carpet or something like that, you might actually not need the blankets, but please have them nearby if you've got something just in case. So when you're ready, make sure you're nice and comfortable, and let's make a start. We're going to start in a seated position. Just bringing the right leg in front of the left. We'll take a few moments just in our seat, making yourself feel comfortable. And let's start with the right leg in front, resting the hands down onto the thighs, closing down the eyes when you feel ready. Taking a few deeper, easier breaths. Just checking in with where you're at right now. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Slightly releasing the jaw. Just breathing in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, let's open the eyes. Extend the arms out to the side, taking an inhale. As you exhale, bring the right hand down away from the hip so you can take a nice big side stretch here, pressing down through the left sitting bone, reaching out through the left fingertips, eyes can look up towards the ceiling. Then take an inhale, come through center, exhaling over to the left. Right arm comes up and over, drop the left shoulder away from the ear, pressing down through that right sitting bone now. And then inhale through center, exhaling to the right. We'll just move through a couple of times. Inhale center, exhaling to the left. And again, inhale center, exhale to the right. Inhale center, to the left. And then last time, let's go over to the right. Let's hold it here for a couple of breaths. Dropping that right shoulder away from the right ear. Breathing into the left side body. And then taking an inhale, coming back to center. Release the legs so you can have the right leg in front of the left, and take the hands back behind you, palms facing down, so a little bit further away from the hips so you can open up through the collarbones, lift through the chest. Feel free to stay here. If it's available, you might be able to lift the hips up, pressing the two hip bones forward, and either just looking down the front of the body or perhaps dropping the head back if that feels available to you. Keep lifting the sternum up. Take one more full breath. Bring the head up if it was down, lowering the hips and come back to your seat. Let's swap the legs around. Let's bring that left leg in front, taking the arms out to the side when you're ready. Inhaling, exhale, left hand comes down, right arm up and over, dropping the left shoulder away from the ear, and inhale through center to the right. So we'll just move through a couple of times. Inhale center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale center, exhale to the right. One more time through center, coming over to the left, and then let's hold it here for a few breaths. So grounding down through that right sitting bone. Left shoulder dropping down away from the ear. Easy breathing. And then taking an inhale to come back upright. Separating the knees a little bit so you can bring that left leg in front, taking the hands back behind you, palms down, fingers pointing forward, starting to open up through the collarbones, and either you can stay here or if it's available, you're going to press the hips forward, keep the breath open, and either just keeping the head where it is or letting it drop back. And then bringing the head back up if you've got it down, sitting the hips down and coming back upright. Coming over the legs, and coming into your tabletop position. Come a little bit further towards the back edge of the mat, tuck the toes under, knees and feet hip distance apart, sitting the hips back towards the heels, forehead coming down towards the mat. It's coming into this very active child's pose variation, opening up through the soles of the feet. Take an inhale. As you exhale, seek through the spine to come up into your tabletop, and then release the tops of the feet down. Draw the shoulder heads back to come into this supported up-facing dog. Taking an inhale, and then exhale to tuck the toes under, pressing the hips back. Inhale to hold, exhale to seek through the spine, and then inhale to come into this up-face dog variation. And then sitting the hips back once again. One more time, inhaling. And then as you exhale, seek through the spine. Coming into this up dog, which is a little bit, it's a different version, so we're not really active through the legs. The knees are down. Draw the shoulder heads back. Looking forward, take an inhale. As you exhale, turn the head to look over the right shoulder towards that right foot. And then inhale, center. Exhale to the left, looking towards the left foot. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right, inhale center, exhale to the left, and coming back to center, back through the knees, tuck the toes under, sitting back towards the heels, taking an inhale, exhale to just C-curve through your tabletop, and then coming all the way down onto your belly. Bring the forearms forward to find your Sphinx. Feet hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. Press down through the tops of the feet, start to lift the kneecaps off. And then we're going to start to think about peeling the lower ribs off the mat, and then the belly off the mat, belly button, hips, until you're just on your knees. And then tuck the toes under and lift into your forearm plank. Sternum's reaching forward, crown of the head is reaching forward. Find your breath, pressing the backs of the legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold here for 5 more breaths. If you need to be down on your knees, then do what you need to do. Two more full breaths. And then coming down to the knees, release the tops of the feet down, hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back to a seated position, to your knees, and then let's grab our softening surface here. So either your towel or your blankets. So you want to be able to pop your forearm down and your hips down. And then come and sit down onto your left hip and the left forearm. And set up the feet in line with the hips here. And you want to think about a little bit of support under here. So rather than collapsing down, lifting up through that left side body. Right hand comes to the waist here. And then from here, that left elbow just underneath that shoulder, pressing down through that left palm, we're going to take a lift of the hips up and then lower. You can inhale to lift and then lower. And again, inhale to lift and lower. If you want to include the arm, we're going to bring the arm up and over the side of the head and then lower down. And again, and lower. Some of you might want to extend the legs to straighten, so everything else is the same, just the legs are straight. We've got 3 more. 2. On this last one, let's hold it up there. Extend the arm up towards the ceiling and turn the eyes to look up towards that top hand. Keep pressing down to that left forearm. Keep breathing. For 3, for 2, for 1. Lowering the hips down. Bend the knees again. Bring the hands to the right side waist. Thinking about the right hip bones being stacked over the left. And then from here, we're going to take the right leg forward, flex the foot, and then take it back behind you. Keep scooping up through the lower belly. And flex the foot as it comes forward. And then point the foot as it goes behind the body. Try to keep that left leg down on the mat. Flex as it goes forward. Point as you take it back. And again. Now we're going to include the arm. So as the leg goes forward, the right arm goes back and the eyes follow the hand. As the leg goes back, the right arm goes forward and the leg goes back. And just again, taking an inhale as you extend the leg back, exhale as the leg goes forward. Try to keep the torso as still as you can. There's a little bit of movement, but just trying to maintain the lower ribs in. We'll just do a couple more. 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg forward, bring the right arm forward and take hold of the leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to start to fold forward over the leg. So you might just hold wherever you can. Keep drawing the navel in. And then release the leg. Place the right hand down just in front of you. Draw those lower ribs in. Point through the right foot. We're going to tap the right foot down and then lift it up. Tap it down and lift it up. Think about lifting up through that left side waist. Tap it down and lift. Tap it down and lift. One more time. Tap down. Let's lift it up. Let's take some little circles here, just for 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse the circle. 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that right knee. Take hold of the top of the right foot. We're going to start to kick that right knee back and then turn the eyes to look towards the top left-hand corner of your mat. Keep breathing. And then let's release that right leg. Come up onto the left hand and hook the left foot behind the right ankle. Right forearm comes down onto this right thigh. So we're going to keep working through the side body here, but lifting up onto that left shin, right arm comes up and over, and then lowering the hips back down. And then again, lifting up, inhale, your eyes can look towards the ceiling, and then exhale to lower down. And again. So you want to make sure there's a little bit of space with that wrist and that left shoulder. So it's nice and close, but as you lift up, that left shoulder stacks on top of that left wrist. We've just got 2 more. We're going to hold. For anyone who wants to hold the legs straight, extend the legs out, coming up into your side plank here. Eyes looking up towards the ceiling. Ground down through the outside edge of that right foot, particularly if you've got your legs straight. Taking one more inhale as you exhale, coming back down onto your hips. Turn into your tabletop position. And option here to turn the fingers back towards the knees underneath the hips. Coming into your cat-cow, take an inhale, lift the eyes, and then exhale, draw the front of the body towards the back body. And again, inhaling to arch, exhale to C-curve. One more time, inhale to arch, exhale to C-curve. Come back to your neutral, turn the fingers to point forward, and then we're going to swap it around. If you need to move your blankets, then feel free to go for that. I'm just going to take it up a little bit further to the top. Lying down onto that right forearm, bending at the knees. This time it's the left hip that's stacked on top of the right, and then the left hand to the waist. Find the breath. Taking an inhale as you exhale, lifting the hips up and then lowering back down. And again, on the exhale, lifting the hips up and lowering back down. And again. Now, if you want to include the arm comes up and over the side of the head and then down. Inhaling and then exhale. Anyone who wants to extend the legs to straighten, going for that variation. For 3, for 2, let's hold this last one up here, and 1, arms straight up towards the ceiling, looking towards that left hand, Keep breathing. For 3, for 2, for 1. Lowering the hips down. Nice work. Let's bend the knees again if they were straight. And take the left hand back to the waist, extending that left leg long, flexing the left foot, taking it forward in front of you. And then as you take it back, point through the toes, keep drawing the lower ribs in. Inhale, take the leg forward. Exhale to take the leg back. So try to keep that left hip stacked on top of the right hip the entire time. So we don't want to be rolling around with the hips. An option here to take the arm forward and take the arm back. And you're just using the eyes just to gently follow the direction of the hand. Inhaling as the leg goes forward. Exhale as the leg goes back. Let's go 4 more. 3, 2. Last one, hold the leg there. Take that left hand, taking an inhale. Exhale to fold forward towards this left leg. Keep drawing the navel in. And then let's release that left leg down. Left hand comes down in front of you. Lengthening out through the left toes, little tap, and then lift. Lifting up through that right side waist. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. 4, 1 more. Holding it up there, 5. Engage the lower ribs in. Little circles here. Just for 8. We're probably up to 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's reverse. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend at that left knee, holding onto the top of the left foot, and then starting to kick the leg back, turning the eyes to look over towards the top right-hand corner of the mat. Just find the breath. Scooping the pubic bone towards the belly button. And then let's release that, bringing that left leg down. Coming up onto the left hand, left foot in front, hooking the right foot just behind the left ankle. And that right hand in line with the right hip, a little bit further away from the shoulder, left forearm down onto the left thigh. Taking an inhale to lift the hips up, left arm up and over, and then lowering back down. Inhale to lift, and then exhale to lower. And again. I know we've been working hard, we're almost there. Let's go on this last one, anyone who would like to extend their legs to straighten. So going into your side plank variation with one foot in front of the other, pressing down through the outer edge of that left foot if you've got both legs long. Draw the lower ribs in, keep breathing. For 3, for 2, for 1. And then lowering the hips down. Nice work. Let's come back into our tabletop, but we'll remove the blankets if you've had blankets on your mat. Find your tabletop. Once again, option to turn the fingers back to face the knees. Taking an inhale to arch, draw the shoulder heads back. As the exhale, option here to tuck the toes under, drawing the belly button in, chin tucks in. And again, inhaling to arch. Exhale, draw the navel in. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. And then coming back to center, release the fingers. Come forward on your knees, sitting over to one side. Make sure there's enough room to roll back behind you. We're going to roll down onto our backs. Take the arms up, inhaling. Draw the navel in as you roll down. Keep pressing down through the legs, all the way down. Bending the knees up. Just arms down by your side for a moment. Let's just take a couple of breaths, just lying on the back, finding the breath. Feeling free to close down the eyes. Noticing any residual sensation, feelings in the body after the work we've been doing. Your heartbeat might still be going a little bit fast. So with each exhale, trying to slow the breath down now. And then let's open up the eyes, cross the right leg over the left, and then bring the knees in towards the chest, trying to hold the shins, or if you can, the outside of each ankle. If this just doesn't feel available for you, then you can come to your figure four stretch. But if you can, trying to hold onto the outside of the ankles, squeeze the legs in, a little bit of a flex through the feet just to keep them a bit active, to help you have something to work against as you draw the legs in, the outer ankles pressing into your hands. Shoulder heads dropping down to the mat. Just continue with the slow, deep breaths. Feeling free to close the eyes again if you would like to. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, try to bring the legs in a little bit closer. And then let's release the left foot down and take the right leg straight up towards the ceiling, holding behind the thigh, calf, ankle, or if you can take hold of the right big toe, then feeling free to hold the big toe. Both shoulder heads dropping back down towards the mat. And either staying here with this left leg bent, or if it's available and you want to straighten that left leg, then going for that. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, maybe there's a little bit more space. And then let's release, bending both legs once again, crossing the left leg over the right, bringing the knees in towards the chest, and then trying to hold the outside of the ankles, a little flex through the feet. Trying to squeeze the legs in towards the chest as the back of the pelvis continues to press down onto the mat. And remembering always an option to just go to your figure four stretch if this feels unavailable or too strong. Just noticing if there's any space that starts to open up on the exhale. Taking one more full breath, inhaling, staying for the exhale. Release that right foot down, extend that left leg up to the ceiling, holding behind the thigh, calf, ankle, or maybe holding onto the left big toe. Try to drop both shoulder blades back down onto the mat, shoulder heads I should say. And maybe option here to extend that right leg long, flexing the right foot if you've got the right leg long. With each exhale, just seeing if there's any more space to bring that left leg a little bit closer towards you. At the same time, pressing down through the back of the right thigh if the leg is straight. One more full breath. And then exhale, maybe bringing the leg in a little bit closer. And then let's bend both knees again, feet flat on the mat. And then one at a time, just extending the legs out long, letting the feet fall away from one another, arms away from the body, palms face up, closing down the eyes. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. Inhaling And exhaling. Just allowing the breath to settle back into its natural rhythm. Just acknowledging your effort to come to the mat, to move and breathe and be with your body, taking this time for yourself. And allowing yourself to come to complete rest for the next few minutes now. Please feel free to stay resting here. If you would like to start moving again, let's bring a little bit of a wriggle into the fingers and the toes, starting to deepen into your breath. And then reaching the arms up above the head, lengthening out through the fingertips, lengthening out through the toes. Take a really big inhale. And then as you exhale, let everything soften. Bending the legs up one at a time, rolling over onto the right side of the body. Just taking a moment here on your side. And then starting to make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Just taking a couple of moments here, just in your seat, resting the hands down onto the legs, closing your eyes again if they've been open. Just feeling into the length of the spine. Noticing the sitting bones down on the mat. Soft face, soft jaw. Just noticing any difference in how you feel, how your body feels from the beginning of the class to now. Let's bring the palms, the hands together into your prayer in front of the chest, bowing the head down towards your hands. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice today. Namaste. I'll see you next time.